You know, it's one of those years, guys. There's so many good movies coming out. Let's talk about a new one right now. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Cord Jefferson's American Fiction. So in this story that's based off Percival Everett's Erasure, it tells the story of a character named Monk, who's of course played by Jeffrey Wright. Monk is an individual that kind of has lost his job. He lives in a world that is very much against the idea of like actual, looking into the past history, and the fact that he used the N-word and stuff like that it's a crazy world. And so he goes back home to take care of his alien mother, and of course his sister has some issues which I won't get into, and of course he has a brother who is played by, of course, Sterling K. Brown, who is kind of a crazy individual and stuff like that. And on top of everything, he's having to deal with the fact that his book is not selling very well or isn't getting very much publishing, even though it's really true to life to the African American culture. So a character played by Issa Rae writes a book that very much leans into what people enjoy about stereotypes, especially in African American culture, and he decides to do the same thing under a pen name of somebody who's like escaped from jail, and it turns into a very much a what the world sees and how the world views the society, and how a particular subset of individuals view books and view culture, and just how they twist and turn it. It's that basically that movie. And then of course Monk, he's a literate guy, has to deal with this scenario kind of spiraling out of control. So this movie, of course, is a awards darling. It's probably going to get a lot of Oscar buzz and a lot of Oscar nominations and a lot of, awards and so on and so forth. It's because it's a movie that kind of is showing the nature of how people in this world work when it comes to things and cultures and ideas and stuff like that. We're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of it. And that's what this movie, something like Sorry to Bother You and stuff like that, are very much hitting on, is a simple fact that, culture is just a very weird, crass thing. And so Cord Jefferson and his crew decided to make a movie about it. And it was one of those things where, it's gotten a lot of buzz. It's gotten a lot of hype, especially for Jeffrey Wright and, of course, Sterling K. Brown and some other people that are in this movie, which I'll talk about in a second, Myra, Lucretia Taylor. So I was really excited to see this movie. I hadn't seen the trailer for it. I didn't really know much about it. I just knew that it was supposed to be really good. And I was sent a screener for this movie. I was able to finally watch it, and my God, 2023 has turned into something quite spectacular when it comes to going deep and going hard when it comes to the nature of culture, the nature of society. And this movie is no different. This movie's fantastic. It's mesmerizing to watch. It's almost like satirical in a lot of respects. It's very dark in its comedic nature, but it has so many great performances. And actually, it definitely bleeds into the problem and does it really well with a subset of culture, the white American, and how they view Black American culture. It very much like beats it over the head with it, but it does it with such reverency and such amazement. It's an absolutely fantastic film that it's weird to say, because it's definitely leaning into making fun of people like me who like these types of films because of what it's trying to do. But I get it, I understand it, and therefore I think it's an Oscar-worthy performing type of movie. I think Jeffrey Wright is fantastic as Monk, but I think Jeffrey Wright's always been a fantastic actor. I remember when I think he was in Shaft and stuff like that, and he was really good in that movie. And he's become one of those actors that just kind of, he does things on his own thing, on his own terms, and he does a really nice job. He's great in Westworld. He's great in pretty much anything he does, and I really think he's fantastic as just kind of, he's taken aback by what Issa Rae's character, who is this other African-American writer, has done with this book. And to watch Monk try to deal not only with his family life and the nature of what's going on there, but he's trying to deal with the fact that he wrote a book that doesn't want to be published or isn't getting published. And so he decides, like Issa Rae's character, to just write something fluff, some nuts, some crap. And it turns into be one of those things where it's just like, you'll read the Da Vinci Code, or you'll read The Shack, or you'll read in these like, overhyped books, and it just turns into some like ridiculousness. And when you get to the heart of the matter, the African American community, or a very minority community at this point, are kind of, they're just looked at as stereotypes, and that's what this movie's trying to do and what it's trying to say. And it's played very well. It's played very it's difficult to watch because it makes fun of people like me who love these types of movies, but I get it. I understand what it's going for, so therefore I appreciate it. And then you have people, like I said, like Sterling K. Brown, who's an actor that he's just kind of come into his own. He's a very fantastic character actor. He's the opposite of what Jeffrey Wright's Monk character is, where he is outlandish. He's a crazy. He very much hid his closeted gay nature. His father didn't care for him. His mother didn't care for him. And it just, you can see that in his like outwardish nature and how he kind of throws himself out there. And he's very much like, all go for it and stuff like that. And I really love it. It's another Oscar worthy performance, like especially nomination wise. And it's really, really good. And same thing with Lucretia Taylor, who plays the nanny or the caretaker of the mother, who of course is played by Leslie Uggams, who is a sweet natured woman. She knows what this family wants, knows what Agnes wants, and knows how to take care of him. It has almost been like the mother for this family and the matriarch in a lot of respects. And she's so sweet and so honest and so beautiful to watch. It's like one of those performances where you just feel like the warmth that comes off of it. It's just a very beautiful performance. I really loved it. I really like the fact that she sees through people. She sees the good-natured people. She knows how to take care of people. And then you have people like John Ortiz, who plays the book publisher or the agent for Monk, who is actually really good in this movie, as well as Issa Rae's really good. Keith David's really good. I love Adam Brody in this movie because he plays that very atypical producer, director, whatever you want to call it, in Hollywood. That's also another thing where this takes a lot of swings at Hollywood, or it takes a lot of swings at book publishers and stuff like that, where they go for the cheap thrill, the cheap thing or whatever. And there's a thing near the end of this movie, which I won't spoil, but it goes into like the depths of what is the problem with like the view of culture and stuff like that. And that's why I like movies like this, or the Holdovers or Past Lives or something like that, because they really go for it. They really go into the deep problems of societal America, and that's what this movie does. It does it with spades. And Cord Jefferson, who I think is like one of his first films, does an absolutely fantastic job directing this film, an absolutely fantastic job writing this film. And then, like I said, he just, as crazy it is, it's like the white actors in this movie are fantastic to watch because they're going all tilt bore with it. And I don't know what else to say about this movie. It's just an absolute delight to watch. It's a very crazy, very crass, a very unsettling movie, but it has a lot of heart. It's very inventive with some of the things it does, and gets down to the nature of the problems that is societal norms at this point, and I just love it. So it's a very Oscar-worthy type of film. I think it goes places that are very good and very interesting, and I'm willing to take the hits and willing to take the jabs when it comes for it, which I know is what it's going for. But definitely give it a watch. It is also very heartfelt. It has a lot of emotional moments, and it's, what can I say? I may end up doing a top 20 because it's been such a year for movies, and this is another one to add to the list. So highly recommended. Definitely give it a check out. And yeah, that's my take on American Fiction, which will be in theaters very, very soon. Once again, thank you for the screener, and there you go. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Comments below. What is your take on this film? If you've seen it, are you looking forward to this film? I know it's gotten a lot of buzz, so definitely let me know. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell to top the finals coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.